Hey guys, and welcome to another reaction video. Yeah, today I'm continuing the Taking MLP2 series videos from FOB Equestria, or yeah, at least it's the channel name. Last time I did this, I said that, for one, I said that the videos he was doing are kind of all over the place, and he's just taking any episode that he wants. Which is totally not true. He's really doing that in the correct order, at least from what I've seen, just in season 4. I think. So, and I said that the videos were Bats and Pinky Pride, but which is totally not true either. I accidentally clicked on Pinky Apple Pie instead of Pinky Pride, so I did that first. And that would be the third video, so the video that I would be focusing on today. Actually, I should have done Bats and Rarity Takes Manhattan, then Pinky Apple Pie and Rainbow Falls, and then Three's a Crowd and Pinky Pride. Yeah, I don't know why I got it messed up that bad. For a second I thought maybe instead of looking at his playlist, I looked at the episode lists that I found somewhere on the web for season 4, but he, like I said, that's where I found out that he is doing it in the correct order of season 4, just without the premiere. So I don't know why I got that messed up so bad, but yeah, for now I'm continuing with Rarity Takes Manhattan and Rainbow Falls. After that we will go just in the normal order. Three's a Crowd, Pinky's Pride, not looking forward to that. Simple Ways, not looking forward to that either, but it's not quite as bad as Pinky Pride, and Philly Vanilli. Yeah, 2 videos at a time, because they're like 3 to 5 minutes. Some of them are 6, one here 7. Maybe I'll do that one alone. But mostly 4 to, or sometimes 3. Jesus, one is 12 minutes long. And 8 minutes long. Yeah, I think that these are videos from the hiatus between season 4 and season 5, where we focused on something else. So, yeah, but whatever. So yeah, today, Rarity Takes Manhattan and Rainbow Falls. Don't know why I messed up there. So, yeah, in the last video. I'm doing this because, actually, today would be, I should be doing, starting the second season of Pony Meets World, but for some reason I don't feel like doing reactions to Pony Meets World. I will do them eventually, just not today. So, yeah. Rarity Takes Manhattan. An episode that's just kind of there for me. A good episode, I like it. I should like it way more than I actually do, because at least in my opinion, this episode really shows Rarity from one of her best sides. I really like her in that episode, and Rarity has all over the season just a little moment that already remind me why I love her so much, and why she definitely is not the bottom of my list. Which there was a time where I would have said that. But then I watched, for example, this, and I realized, man, she's pretty damn great. I mean, they're all are, but she's as well. Yeah, Rarity always had those little moments that I'm never expecting, where it really just reminds me how great she is. And this episode is pretty much just one big example of this. This episode really shows, at least in my opinion, shows her from one of her very good sides. So I don't know why I found this episode so I don't know, so less interesting. I guess maybe I just don't like Manehatten that much. I mean, people there are kind of rude. People there are rude, period. At least from what I remember. A lot of them are, at least they're depicted that way in the show. So yeah, I don't know, for some reason I don't watch that episode a whole lot, but overall I like it. So, yeah, let's just see what he says about it. If he agrees that this one shows the Rarity from one of her best sides. Because I know for a fact that Rarity is his favorite pony. Like I said, definitely not the bottom of my list, but I wouldn't put her on the top either. Yeah, no, that spot belongs to Rainbow Dash. Don't know why I pointed at her there. Yeah. So, gosh, I've already been talking for like 5 minutes. So yeah, let's get started. 3, 2, 1, click. Board operating basic question.
Rarity is best pony, hands down. Rarity has been subject to quite a lot of criticism. Many commenters claim that she almost never follows her element of generosity given her materialistic nature.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, ignoring the fact that most of those claims are completely groundless and others are just as guilty of going against their elements.
True.
It's great that Rarity is greedy.
And I think that's good. I think they should do that from time to time, just to be remembered why
show weaknesses as a three-dimensional character. I don't like to think that if you're an element of harmony, it automatically means you showcase the element perfectly all the time. Instead of being the embodiment of the elements, I think what being an element of harmony means that you are capable of showcasing great feats of the element. You are able to follow it when it really counts and things hang in the balance. Sorry, Ranty, back to the episode. So, in this episode, we are treated to shots of Manehatten. As an aside, I really hate the city and I hate crowds, and honestly, this episode didn't help. It showcased how everyone's in a hurry to get somewhere and everyone's a f***ing asshole.
Dude, are we like the same person right now?
So, yeah, still hate the city. And all of her friends came along. You know, I'm surprised Applejack didn't want to say hi to her relatives here. I mean, she doesn't see them very often, and she holds family in high regard, and I'm pretty sure they could do with having some people who actually know the territories show them around. Small Babs cameo, maybe? Whatever, nitpicking, moving on. We are also shown that Rarity apparently carries dozens of gems as tips. This interests me. The people she tips don't seem surprised in the least that Rarity's paying them in jewels, so this doesn't seem to be an uncommon practice to give gems as tips. Is there some shop they can readily cash these jewels in? And given the consistency of this practice, are these shops common? And is it common knowledge for ponies to know how much a gem is worth at a glance? Something to think about. You know, when the fandom said they wanted more examples of Rarity's generosity, I have to say to have a musical number about that was a little heavy-handed. I mean, it's called generosity. Subtle. I was looking for a more Duke Ellington style song, but whatever, this is good too. By the way, the joke beforehand, you could totally tell that was a Dave Polsky move. A little hypocritical humor is fine every now and again. When all of Rarity's dresses get stolen, it's totally believable. Rarity is a small town girl where everyone trusts each other, so it makes her very easy to be taken advantage of. And what's great about this was that Rarity being manipulated wasn't due to her being an idiot. Don't get me wrong, I was suspicious of that mayor the whole time, but how was Rarity supposed to act on it? Was she just supposed to say, no, because I think you might backstab me? I can totally relate with the feeling that Rarity has going on here. You know, when you try to do something nice for someone, usually a complete stranger, and they just stab you in the back? Well, that happened to me, except I got scammed out of $300. Needless to say, I felt violated. I also didn't want to show a good deed to anyone ever again. But I got over it eventually because the moral of this episode was the conclusion I came to. I like the little heartwarming moment of how sometimes if you want to change the world from cold-hearted and cruel to generous and kind, the best method to show the way is through example and continuing to be the light in the darkness even if you can't be it all the time. I also like the whole, you were a jerk, but that was just an out-of-character moment, and it's going to take more than that to not want to be friends. Like a three-dimensional character. Another thing that surprised me is how much the elements were referenced. You see in fanfiction that each pony's respective element is referenced all the time, but in the show they're kind of less important. We usually don't see the elements referenced unless it's a season finale or premiere, and in this one we see two ponies' elements referenced casually. Not complaining, just an observation. Still, one thing that kind of bugs me is what Rarity used for her line as replacement. Yeah, vandalizing your room is a great idea. I sure do hope that the staff don't get mad or anything, possibly kick you out. Also, what did Hoity Toity describe Rarity's first line of dresses again? A mismatch of everything except the kitchen sink. There was even soap on the clothing. Did she learn nothing from... I don't know, I just don't get fashion. Or maybe
no, I don't either.
Way too seriously.
Maybe. Well, yeah. We both had pretty much exactly the same opinion. That's good. I mean, really, we had exactly the same opinion. Either he just said exactly what I just said, or I was just agreeing with what he said. But overall, I can just agree. We have pretty much the same opinion. I don't have a list of my favorite characters. I know I said that multiple times, but I don't. I can't decide. I just can't decide. Like I said, on first place, I would definitely put Rainbow Dash, and second, probably Applejack, but after that, I just can't. I don't know. I can't decide. So yeah. Next one is Rainbow Falls, right? Ooh. Where is it? There. Rainbow Falls. That was that Equestria. Yeah, that qualifying for the Equestria games, right? That's what they did there. I liked it, definitely. It was funny for some parts. Bulk Biceps was great, and or Snowflake. The others, there was just some can't talk today. There was just some humor in there that I really liked. Derby was there. Not my favorite background putty, but probably second place. Yeah, definitely second place. Rainbow Dash. Yeah, I think I haven't seen that episode in a while, so maybe I'm just remembering that wrong. But I think she didn't feel out of character to me. I could definitely see her do what she did in that episode, except for choosing not to choose, like faking that she's hurt. I don't know. Yeah, maybe she would do that. Yeah, overall I liked it, but I can't really say much about it. So yeah, let's just see what he says, and maybe I'll agree again. Starting in 3, 2, 1, click.
I have the weirdest feeling right now. This episode actually ticked me off, but I don't think this is a bad episode. Here, let me explain what I mean. So this episode begins with Rainbow Dash training for the Equestria Games with the now named Bulk Biceps. Okay, out of the dozens of Pegasi currently in Ponyville, Rainbow Dash picked these two, Fluttershy, who hates the very notion of competition, and Bulk Biceps, who can barely get off the ground. These are the two worst flyers in Ponyville, which is another thing. Bulk Biceps was accepted into the Warner Bros. Academy, even though he can barely fly.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And no one else in Ponyville wanted to go to the Equestria Games? No one wanted to compete? Okay. And they go off to train for the Equestria Games, which apparently, unlike the Olympics, has competitors based off town rather than country. Maybe it's a small kingdom, I don't know. And judging from these three, there's apparently a Griffin town in the nearby area. Whether Griffins have a kingdom of their own or they live under Celestia and Luna's rule, it's not really explained. Oh, and the Wonderbolts are also
They
competing.
sort of
had
a
What
kingdom.
the Wonderbolts actually are they just a celebrity stunt team? Well, the fact they're called upon in times of danger kind of pokes holes in that. Wonderbolt Academy seems to suggest they're military, or at least paramilitary, but don't they already have a royal guard with Pegasi? I have no idea.
Yeah, well,
the Wonderbolts
royal guard, like...
The more I see of the Wonderbolts, the more I don't like them. Especially here, as they're shown to be not as a tightly knit group as we've been led to believe. They're next to useless as a rescue squad, have mixed up priorities when it comes to being a team, and now they show sneaky and manipulative disloyalty to their comrades. With all the bullshit Rainbow Dash constantly sees in them, sometimes I wonder why she's still vying for their approval. Then again, that's kind of the point of this episode. Yeah. The Wonderbolts do something completely underhanded, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm righteously ticked off. Not only was it completely unprofessional, I can't fathom how they're still a team after such a move. And what boggled my mind is how quickly they were forgiven. If I were storing a Rainbow Dash, I wouldn't be so quick to forgive. But maybe there's a lesson there. Ponies really don't know how to hold a grudge, and maybe that's the point. Everyone learns a lesson in the end, and honestly, what kind of punishment would actually befit this sort of thing? And even so, what would a punishment accomplish? What are they supposed to do? Disband the Wonderbolts? Maybe Rainbow Dash has the attitude adjustment the Wonderbolts need. Maybe that's her purpose in life. That being said, on the spectrum of my favorites of the main 6, Rainbow Dash is at number 5, and this episode didn't help. I won't deny she's a well-written 3-dimensional character, but goodness gracious alive is her ego grating. Yes, I get it. You're awesome. Kindly shut up about it, thank you. I still like her, though. She's arrogant, yeah, but she has the talent to back it up. She struggles with choosing between friends and personal advancement, but she always picks friends in the end. And even though her head's almost never in the right place, mostly being shoved 50 feet up her plot, her heart is. Rainbow Dash constantly puts the Wonderbolts to shame, whether it be from her abilities or her attitude, and this is no different. There were a couple of great small moments that made me really like this episode. The first one being Twilight basically saying choosing not to choose isn't a choice, that electing to ignore both areas where you are needed will screw both sides over. Sometimes you gotta make a crappy choice. And as much as I really don't want to talk about Derpy, as her appearance did little more than just make me chuckle a little bit, there's one moment that I really want to talk about. When Twilight basically says Derpy isn't a good flyer, she just shrugs it off like, yeah, I know, but that's life, what can you do? she was told she wasn't good at something and didn't get offended. Like, she's accepted that she's not a terrific flyer, and there's no point in getting mad as long as others aren't being malicious about it. It's a small moment, but I really like it. Yeah. And now let's talk about that ending. I'm not going to comment on it, for 2 reasons. First being, if these rainbow flashes are leading up to something, which it really looks like they are, then it's probably going to be revealed very soon, so speculating on it seems completely pointless. Second being, if it's not important and it's just purely aesthetic, then I don't think it's worth the ridicule to deal with people laughing at you for taking something way too seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was for the most part my opinion. Rainbow Dash is pretty much at the bottom of this list, where for me she's first place, but I mean, everyone has different tastes. She is very arrogant, I have to say that, and in the most shows people like that would really bother me, but Rainbow Dash is an exception. I don't know why, but I really have no problem with her arrogance. Every time I see like the first episode or just any episode where she's arrogant, I go like, oh Jesus, Rainbow, seriously, I love you, but shut up. And 3 seconds later I totally forgot about it. I just can't be mad at her for that reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just part of her character and the part that I just accepted or grown to like, or I don't know what, but it really doesn't bother me at all. I do see why some people would be bothered by that, but I'm just not. Well, the Wonderbolts, the way I see it, the Royal Guards have Pegasi, but they're the Royal Guards. They're there to protect royalty and not the big military arm of Equestria. I would see the Wonderbolts maybe as an, if not as like the Equestria equivalent of the Air Force, then as a military part of some sort of Air Force. Like military just like in the air, if you know what I mean. And I don't see why they can't also be like stunt flyers and perform shows. It would be weird for military in our world, but I mean, it's not like there's any law or anything that makes it impossible. I mean, you could make it if you wanted to. So, I mean, they were at the start of these, when the series was made, they were first going to stunt a stunt show or a stunt like performer for air shows. And then later it became military something, but now it's just a mix-up and I'm pretty okay with it. That's just how I see it, I mean. Right? But yeah, for the most part, I guess we agree. Again, not as much as in Rarity Takes Manehatten, but for the most part, we were again pretty much the same opinion. So, and yeah, yes, it's everything I have to say about this. I think I said enough about Rarity Takes Manehatten, and I kind of forgot all of it. No, I didn't. There was just really nothing else to say. I don't think. Nothing that I wouldn't have already kind of made clear in a way or two. So yeah, I think I'll just end this video here and say I hope you like this little commentary. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.